Oh yeah, I mean,
It's not like you can go replace them.
the people at our level and that played ball on our level are unicorns in the city. What I really want to just like say is that, you know, it's a classic Tony Montana line. I didn't fuck anybody who didn't have it coming to them already. That's just, you know, this is movie shit, but it's reality. Like, we lived it. Like, that movie's fabricated. It's maybe based on lightly on somebody's life, but, you know, movies are fabricated. The shit you see in movies, I've lived through it. I've experienced it, and it's surreal to still be here, even in my situation with an ankle monitor on, and, you know, talking to you and telling my journey and my story and trying to clarify things.
When the feds roll up a big drug operation, it's not all about just getting the person above. It's about getting the whole organization. So the Flores Twins, during the time they were working, they went through their Rolodex, and all these guys, mostly black dealers from around the Midwest, because those are black population centers: Chicago, Cleveland, Detroit, Cincinnati, Pennsylvania. They were calling guys up who had tried to kidnap them before or had kidnapped them, who owed them money, big money. We fronted you for, you know, they might have sold these guys, you know, 40, 50 bricks a month for a couple of years, and then on the last bag, they didn't pay them, which is a common thing in dope. Whether you're dealing with a crackhead who coming and getting nickels, you're selling ounces, you're selling pounds, you're selling bricks, the last sack, they don't want to pay. So you kind of chalk that up. So the people they set up were people that did bad things to them in their mind. The other story was Damon Cash. I don't learn many things at this point, but like 2 stories from Chicago. I learned one from the son of a Chicago black gangster who told me the story of his uncle fairly recently doing something for some people south of the border, and when the last 50 brick bag, he was planning on not paying, and figured he'd just hide. And what are they going to do? They going to come up to the south side of Chicago and make him pay? Well, they did. They showed up and they grabbed him, and they took him around the family member's house, shook every tree. I guess they must have scared people to death, and they paid for those 50 keys. And then guess what? They dropped another bag of 50 on him and said, "You're still working, and you got to sell 50 a month." Because at that level, there's not that many people that can move that kind of weight. So they don't just let you go away, because it's hard to replace a 50 key salesman. And if you're selling 50 keys for them, well, man, that person up the chain, they might be responsible for 300 keys a month. So they need all their 50 brick a month guys. People that love money like that, they don't love human beings. And to go back to the start, again, I don't want to say anything inappropriate, but it's whenever I'm interacting with all these young people I know that have these big former drug dealer fathers, I just wonder what their conflicted feelings must really be, and they can't really say them out loud. They may not even have worked through what they are, because Pedro Flores seemed to still be working through it and processing it as I was talking to him. I don't know what he really thought about his father. I don't think they definitely didn't get the love they felt. Well, they didn't feel. He chose the game over his children. And anytime you don't tell and you go to prison, you chose your reputation in the street, you chose your ability to continue to earn in the criminal landscape, and you chose your drug dealing friends over your children and your wife or whatever you got going on. That is a fact. So that's why you shouldn't get involved in crime, kids, because you're going to be forced to make decisions with no good answer. Money does not buy love, but it does buy you enmity. And the more money you might get with somebody, the less they might love you, because the more they love the money and the more willing to put you in the ground or put you underground. In the Florence ADX, Al Prophet, American Dope, surviving El Chapo.
The man who ordered the torture and murder of his enemies, then blowing a kiss to his wife just before leaving the courtroom.